What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham Jason Matthews, break down all the original content you watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the March 18, 2023 edition of the SmackDown LowDown. Matt Cam, Jackie Redmond in the studio, breaking down what I thought was a great edition of SmackDown from Friday. My full audio review of the show is available from earlier today here in the channel, so check it out. We open up the episode with them recapping and replaying the opening and closing segments from SmackDown, the entire Usos, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn saga that saw Owens and Zayn ultimately reunite at the end of the show, which was amazing. Matt Kim says it's not fight forever, it's friends forever with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They also recap the Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan win over Tegan Nox and Emma in tag team action, qualifying them for the Women's WrestleMania Showcase match, which, like I talked about in my SmackDown audio review, we still have no idea what exactly that consists of. I would hope they each get tag team title shots to give it some stakes, but that's not been confirmed yet. Either way, Megan Moran interviews Morgan and Raquel here on the show backstage. And Raquel says that it's really exciting for them to have won this match and qualify for WrestleMania. Didn't expect to gel so well, which they've been teaming on and off and have had like a frenemy sort of alliance in recent months, so it's not really all that surprising they would have good chemistry in the ring as partners. And Morgan just says to watch them, and that was pretty much it. They replay the Rey Mysterio and Dominic face-off from SmackDown. Again, great stuff from those two. They preview LA Knight versus Rey Mysterio for next week's SmackDown, which should be a great match. They replay the finish to the Drew McIntyre-Sheamus match, where the winner would earn an Intercontinental Championship opportunity at WrestleMania against Gunther. And thankfully, as a result of the double disqualification, no contest, whatever you want to call it, the draw between the two with Imperium interfering, it will be Gunther versus Drew and Sheamus in a triple threat match at WrestleMania for the championship. Drew's interviewed here on the show by Megan, and Drew says that he wanted this spot in WrestleMania. It meant a lot to him. Calls the Intercontinental Championship prestigious. Doesn't really want to talk about Sheamus and how Sheamus is also in there and their recent, not falling out, but their recent issues over both wanting that Intercontinental Championship. But he says this is a full circle moment for him. That was the first singles championship he held in WWE when he first arrived in the main roster back in 2009, a good 13 years ago. The only other person to have gone that long in between reigns was Jeff Hardy from 06 and 07 through 2020 when he won it, for I think the fifth or sixth time in 2020. But regardless, that's a long time. And he says that he feels he feels bad for anyone that has to follow them at WrestleMania. He expects it to be a highly physical match, as we all do, should be a show stealer, and promises to walk out of WrestleMania the Intercontinental Champion. Matt Kemp says exactly what I just did, that Drew has not held the Intercontinental Championship in 13 years, has not been WWE Champion in over 2 years, so he really hasn't held any gold of any kind in quite a while. But he remains on a roll, has a lot of momentum, is going in there having great matches, and is that much more motivated to walk out the new champion. He also talks about Sheamus and how Sheamus wants the championship. He wants to become the ultimate Grand Slam champion. We've heard it time and time again from Sheamus himself before, but it never gets old, and which is why I'm hoping Sheamus does walk out of WrestleMania the new champion. Camp reiterates that Gunther is also in the top 5 reigns of all time, so I had seen some headlines, and which is technically true, people had brought up that Gunther is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion since the Honky Tonk Man, which is true. That doesn't mean he has the record, like the second longest reign in championship history. There are a few people ahead of him. Like, he's in the top 5 now. There's 4 people ahead of him, including the Honky Tonk Man. Tito Santana might be one of them. Pedro Morales, maybe. I know, obviously, Honky Tonk Man. And I know Macho Man Randy Savage also held it for over a year, but not at the exact length that Honky Tonk Man did. So he's in the top 5. He's not in the top, 3 or 4 or, 2 yet. But, it would be cool if he broke the record. I've talked about this before. It would be cool if he broke the record. But at the same time, it's ready. Gunther is ready for that next step in WWE. And I think Sheamus can really benefit from being the one. The guy's 45 years old. He's been here forever. I get it. But it would be cool if Sheamus was the one to end that championship reign, given his, track record of never having held that championship before and how much he wants to win it. And Sheamus winning it from Gunther, having held it for so long, according to Camp, would mean that much more, and I agree. They replay the Charlotte Flair Rhea Ripley segment where they started off talking before brawling. Great stuff there from those two. Matt Camp tells Jackie that Rhea Ripley has actually never beaten Charlotte Flair before, which is true. They had their NXT Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 3 years ago. Charlotte won that. They feuded over the Raw Women's Championship in 2021. Rhea won that. Rhea has never before pinned Charlotte. I think she did pin Charlotte years ago on SmackDown in like a triple threat, but one-on-one, she's never beaten her. We hear from Cody Rhodes backstage here on the show as well. A nice, great, longer promo from him. Cody Rhodes always shines in this environment, talking to Megan Morant here. But he recaps his great road to WrestleMania so far, having the great matches with Chad Gable, LA Knight, among other people so far, being endorsed by John Cena a week or so ago on Raw 2 weeks ago. And he wanted to return the favor for Kevin Owens after what Kevin Owens did for him, which he talked about on SmackDown, hooking him up with the Elite, which he didn't mention by name, obviously, but, still, it's true. Wanted to return the favor for Kevin by helping him and Sami get back on the same page and also take down the Bloodline. He says his next biggest obstacle, though, the ultimate obstacle, is Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania for that undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Before he can go further, he's interrupted by Giovanni Vinci, Ludwig Kaiser of Imperium, and Kaiser says, listen, we all know you won the Royal Rumble. Gunther would have won it had it not been for you. You keep talking about it. Who cares? All you are is all hype. And Cody says, well, listen, if you think I'm all hyped, then let's face off next week here on SmackDown one-on-one, and that match has since been made official. Back in the studio to close it out, they hype up Roman Reigns returning to Raw this Monday, and they also recap Matt Camp getting a 4 out of 10 in typical Bret Hart fashion, if you know, you know, from the Maximum Male Models on his runway walk on the bump on Wednesday. So I didn't see that. I don't know why they had to bring that up, but it was funny, I guess, regardless. So pretty good addition here, actually, of SmackDown LowDown. I love the Cody Rhodes Imperium interaction. I thought that was great. The Drew McIntyre promo was really, really good. Raquel and Liv was a fine promo for what it was, setting forth what they have coming up at WrestleMania and the Women's WrestleMania Showcase match. So good stuff this week from the SmackDown LowDown. We had the interviews backstage be a little bit longer than usual, which I appreciated, so good stuff there. Thank you guys for checking out my review. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Have an awesome one, guys. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.